Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. We're going to take up tonight on Dialog 530. The following is taken from the diary of Annamalai Swami, a good devotee of Sri Bhagavan and a resident of Sri Ramana Darshanam. The teachings of Sri Ramana Bhagavan. 1. That man who is active in the world and yet remains desireless, without losing sight of his own essential nature, he alone is a true man. This was an answer to the Swami who wanted to retire into a cave for practicing meditation. 2. He asked about sannyas. Should not a man renounce everything in order that he might gain liberation? Sri Bhagavan replies, even better than the man who thinks, I have renounced everything, is the one who does his duty but does not think, I do this, or I am the doer. Even a sannyasi who thinks I am a sannyasi cannot be a true sannyasi, whereas a householder who does not think I am a householder is truly a sannyasi. To remain desireless is essential. How can one remain desireless? All one's desires have as their root the belief that happiness is to be found therein. The body's activity in the world, which is unreal, does not create the desire. Let there be no false conception of happiness being external to oneself, but is within and of the nature of oneself. Thus will desirelessness be achieved. Without losing sight of his own essential nature. What is your essential nature? Your essential nature is bodiless and thought transcendent. If you're not mistaken about the source and nature of happiness, and know that your own nature is existence, consciousness, bliss, bodiless and thought transcendent. You are thus truly desireless. And what bondage could there be for you then? Be certain about the nature of happiness. Clarify the knowledge of your identity. Sri Bhagavan said, even better than the man who thinks I have renounced everything is the one who does his duty but does not think I do this or I am the doer. If you are not the body, how could you be the performer of action? The self never does anything. It is not a doer. The disciple asked, one person says one thing one way, another says the same thing in a different way. How is the truth to be ascertained? Sri Bhagavan replied, each one sees his own self only, always and everywhere. He finds the world and God according to what he is. Each one sees his own self only, always and everywhere. He finds the world and God according to what he is. What is the world? What is God? You will understand them only according to the understanding you have of yourself. If you want to know the existence of the world, what it is, know the existence of yourself. If you want to know what God's existence is, know the existence of yourself. Everywhere and at all times, there is just one existence. To see it as if divided between the world, God, and yourself is delusion. Only one existence exists. Sri Bhagavan continued, A Nayanar went to Kalahasti for the darshan of God. He saw all the people there as Shiva and Shakti because he himself was so. Again, Dharmaputra considered that the whole world was composed of people having some merit or other, and that each of them was even better than he himself, for some reason or another. Whereas Duryodhana could not find a single good person in the world. Each reflects his own nature. What is your perception of others? It is dependent on the perception of yourself. Be free of conceptions regarding yourself, and how then do others appear? The disciple asks, is there no way of escape from the miseries of the world? Sri Bhagavan replied, there is only one way, and that consists in not losing sight of oneself under any circumstances. To inquire, who am I, is the only remedy for all the ills of the world. It is also perfect bliss. Suffering is due to ignorance. Ignorance is losing sight of oneself. If you have lost the knowledge of yourself, apparently, the only remedy is to inquire and know what the self indeed is. To inquire who am I is the only remedy for all the ills of the world. It is also perfect bliss. You are bliss, and bliss cannot suffer. To escape from suffering, escape from ignorance. To escape from ignorance, don't lose sight of yourself, your nature, at any time, under any circumstances. The circumstances never demand you to be ignorant. Talk 533. Soon after the announcement in the newspapers that Gandhiji was going to fast for 21 days in Yerwada jail, two young men came to Sri Bhagavan. They were very excited. They said, Mahatma is now fasting for 21 days. We want permission from Sri Bhagavan to run up to Yerwada so that we may also fast as long as he does. Please permit us. We are in haste to go. Saying so, they made ready to rush out. Sri Bhagavan smiled and said, It is a good sign that you have such feelings, but what can you do now? Get the strength which Gandhiji has already got by his tapasya. You will afterwards succeed. Sri Bhagavan often used to say, Mauna is the utmost eloquence. Peace is utmost activity. How? Because the person remains in his essential nature, and so he permeates all the recesses of the self. Thus he can call up any power into play, whenever or whatever it is necessary. That is the highest city. Mauna is the utmost eloquence. In such eloquence, what is said, what is conveyed, Mauna is utmost eloquence. What is conveyed in silence? Something that is ineffable, something inconceivable. Something neither born nor created. Something that is ever existent. Something that is truly the self. Something that is reality without another. What is peace? It is that in which the person remains in his essential nature. That is, without misidentification. If by inquiring who am I, you set yourself free of all misidentification, confusion of yourself with the body, with the ego, with the mind, etc. There is peace. Annamalai asked, Namadev, Tukaram, Tulsidas, and others are said to have seen Mahavishnu. How did they see him? Sri Sri Bhagavan's response was, "In what manner? Just in the same manner as you see me now, and I see you here." They would also have seen Vishnu in this way only. He records that on hearing it, his hair stood on end and an intense joy overpowered him. If one has a vision of God in any form, how does the vision occur? By what light? Similarly, if one has vision of the world, by what light? Talk 536. The person soaked in the I am the body idea is the greatest sinner, and he is a suicide. The experience of I am the self is the highest virtue. Even a moment's dhyana to that effect is enough to destroy all the sanchita karma. It works like the sun before whom darkness is dispelled. If one remains always in dhyana, can any sin, however heinous it be, survive his dhyana? A person soaked in the I am the body idea is the greatest sinner, and he is a suicide. He is a suicide in the sense of covering over the self. The I am the body idea is the greatest sin. It's the fundamental error constituting delusion. And all that is possibly wrong is based on it. This I am the body idea. The experience of I am the self is the highest virtue. It is the root of all that is true, good, and beautiful. To realize the self in knowledge of the self that is truly virtuous. Even a moment's meditation to that effect, that is, upon the truth, I am the self, is enough to destroy all the sanchita karma, all the stored up karma. It is like the sun before which darkness is dispelled. If one remains always in such meditation, can any sin, can any delusion survive? Once Sri Bhagavan said, desire constitutes Maya and desireless-ness is God. The distinction between desire and desirelessness is the very same as Maya, illusion, and God. With desire, one experiences Maya, delusion. With desirelessness, one experiences God. And what one experiences is what he is. Annamalai asked, what is the exact difference between worldly activity and dhyana meditation? Sri Bhagavan replied, there is no difference. It is like naming one and the same thing by two different words in two different languages. The crow has two eyes, but only one iris, which is rolled into either eye as it pleases. Oh, maybe some Indian crows are that way. The trunk of an elephant is used for breathing and for drinking water. The snake sees and hears with the same organ. The very same existence consciousness, which is the substance of meditation, is the same existence and being known of worldly activity. There is only one existence. It is all, it illumines all. For one who knows the self of the nature of being consciousness bliss as himself, there is no change between activity and meditation. When Sri Bhagavan was going up the hill, the Swami asked, "Does the closing or the opening of the eyes make any difference during dhyana, during meditation?" Sri Bhagavan replied, "If you strike on a wall with a rubber ball and you stand at a distance, the ball rebounds and runs back to you. If you stand near the ball rebounds and runs away from you. Even if the eyes are closed, the mind follows thoughts." Does opening and closing the eyes alter the nature of your consciousness? Does your existence change with the addition or subtraction of a sense organ, such as the eyes? Once Annamalai asked, "There is more pleasure in dhyana than in sensual enjoyments. Yet the mind runs after the latter and does not seek the former. Why is it so?" Sri Bhagavan replied, "Pleasure or pain are aspects of the mind only. Our essential nature is happiness, but we have forgotten the self and imagine that the body or the mind is the self. It is that wrong identity that gives rise to misery." What is to be done? This vasana is very ancient and has continued for innumerable past births. Hence it has grown strong. That must go before the essential nature, that is happiness, asserts itself. Our essential nature is happiness. Existence is happiness. Why is there unhappiness then? It is only due to having forgotten the self and imagining that the body or the mind is the self. Are you a body? Are you a mind? If not, how could pleasures or pains pertain to you? It is the wrong identity that gives rise to misery. The attainment of knowledge of the self eliminates the possibility of misery. Only the mistaken identity is the cause of such illusion. The tendencies must go before the essential nature of happiness asserts itself. Since happiness is the very nature of existence, it is never gone. Yet it appears to be veiled only by the vasanas or tendencies. The tendencies are based upon misidentification. If you eliminate the misidentification, the happiness that is perfectly full, that is the existence, shines forth without any obscuration. So, again and again, determine what your identity is. Again and again, inquire, who am I? What is your real nature? Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Shanti.